own the night. Puzzle mania fills the room. Hearts racing, we feel the zoom. Victory is almost near. Speed and fun, we have no fear. Puzzle pieces like a storm. Shapes and edges we transform. Patterns forming under stress. Speed puzzling at our best. Every second counts today. Focus sharp, don't drift away. Lost in pieces we unite. Building worlds with all our might. Whispers humming in the air, laughing, dancing without care. From the chaos, order springs, puzzles solved in joyful flings. Pieces flying in the air, clock is ticking, no time to spare. Colors blend into the scene, solving puzzles like a dream. Hands are moving light and quick, got our tricks and perfect flicks. Every corner piece fits tight. Speed puzzlers, we own the night. Puzzle mania fills the room. Hearts racing, we feel the zoom. Victory is almost near. Speed and fun, we have no fear. Puzzle pieces like a storm. Shapes and edges we transform. Patterns forming under stress. Speed puzzling at our best. Every second counts today. Focus sharp, don't drift away. Lost in pieces we unite. Building worlds with all our might. Whispers humming in the air, laughing, dancing without care. From the chaos, order springs, puzzles solved in joyful flings. Pieces flying in the air, clock is ticking, no time to spare. Colors blend into the scene, solving puzzles like a dream. Hands are moving light and quick, got our tricks and perfect flicks. Every corner piece fits tight. Speed puzzlers, we own the night. Puzzle mania fills the room. Hearts racing, we feel the zoom. Victory is almost near. Speed and fun, we have no fear. Puzzle pieces like a storm. Shapes and edges we transform. Patterns forming under stress. Speed puzzling at our best. Every second counts today. Focus sharp, don't drift away. Lost in pieces we unite. Building worlds with all our might. puzzles like a dream. Hands are moving light and quick, got our tricks and perfect flicks. Every corner piece fits tight, speed puzzlers, we own the night. Puzzle mania fills the room, hearts racing, we feel the zoom. Victory is almost near, speed and fun, we have no fear. Puzzle pieces like a storm, shapes and edges we transform. Patterns forming under stress, speed puzzling at our best. Every second counts today. Focus sharp, don't drift away. Lost in pieces we unite, building worlds with all our might. Whispers humming in the air, laughing, dancing without care. From the chaos, order springs, puzzles solved in joyful flings. Pieces flying in the air, clock is ticking, no time to spare. Colors blend into the scene, solving puzzles like a dream. Hands are moving light and quick, got our tricks and perfect flicks. Every corner piece fits tight, speed puzzlers, we own the night. Puzzle mania fills the room, hearts racing, we feel the zoom. Victory is almost near, speed and fun, we have no fear. Puzzle pieces like a storm, shapes and edges we transform. Patterns forming under stress, speed puzzling at our best. Every second counts today. Focus sharp, don't drift away. Lost in pieces we unite, building worlds with all our might. Whispers humming in the air, laughing, dancing without care. From the chaos, order springs, puzzles solved in joyful flings.
All right. Good evening, everybody. Greetings around the world, and hello to all our speed puzzlers and all our viewers on YouTube. And greetings to my co-host Jim.
Hi there, Michelle.
Hello. Just checking. Can everyone give me a sign of life if you can hear me all right? Good. Thank you very much. All right. So we're talking about what we had for dinner in the chat. We've got folks joining us from Germany, Switzerland, and Sweden, and Colombia, and Belgium. So very nice. I just want to remind everyone this puzzle is with using larger pieces. So that means this 500 piece puzzle is the size of a normal 1000 piece puzzle. So make sure you have enough space. If your space is a bit smaller, consider having a couple of trays on hand if you want to like just layer some pieces and kind of stack them up just to maximize your space. So just keep that in mind. Yes, so Jim, we have an interesting topic for discussion today. It's not an idea that I came up with because I still don't really understand it. But the theme was, if the EJJ or another puzzle competition would be divided into leagues, how should it be organized? So do you have any experience for that or any thoughts about a puzzle league of sorts?
Um, I'm not sure if there's like an explicit best way or anything like that. I think one thing that would be really interesting would be to have subcategories of things, where maybe the league has like people that are typically under like 40 minutes, people that are typically 50 plus, that kind of thing. But then you also have subcategories of like, hey, age group wise, um, or maybe countries that have a small density of puzzlers, that kind of thing. Because I think that would be kind of interesting. But probably for league play, you would want to think of it more like a tier system, um, rather than everybody playing in the exact same grouping. Because if you break it up a little bit that way, you end up with a situation where more people feel success with the people that they're similar to, um, rather than everybody trying to chase the very, very top echelons and maybe not going to be there for a little bit, right? And have to have more practice time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, I just find the topic very daunting to think about. It just sounds like a lot of hard work. So I'll just read out some of the answers. So the reason that this idea came up is that we're going to have a chat with Lynn Schiffman later on. Yeah, Lynn is organizing a competition in Dortmund. You might have heard about that, Art in Pieces. It's in late January and there's still spaces available. If you're anywhere near Dortmund, so in Germany or Belgium or the Netherlands, and you're looking for a competition that's happening in person, solo, pairs, and teams. We'll find out a bit more about that later. But also Lynn wanted to talk about a puzzle league, and I'll just read out her answer just so that people have an idea of what she's thinking about. I was thinking about a national league, at least for Germany. It would be possible with the amount of people interested in speed puzzling. However, it would also be nice to have a first and second, and maybe even a third league, with possibilities to move up or down to another league. Would also be really nice if the leagues would consist of online and offline competitions, and to have a big offline finale. So
Yeah, that would be interesting. The online competitions are really great because it really widens the availability of who all can play, right? Because times can be whatever, you can do it from your home, that kind of thing. Um, the snag is that there's always maybe somebody had slightly different lighting, or in their time zone they're not jet lagged, that kind of those kinds of things. So there's always trade-offs, right? There's trade-offs in the puzzling, and then there's trade-offs in how you want to group things together. So it's a fun way to look at it.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll have a chance to discuss it a bit more later in the piece. But yeah, it's now the time to unwrap your puzzles. So please go ahead, take off that lovely flowery wrapping paper.
What's it gonna be? Oh, I'm trying to get a good look. What is it?
Yeah, so go ahead and remove the plastic as well. There is a poster. Feel free to take the poster because the image is cropped on the box. So it's not a portrait image, it's a landscape image. So make sure you get that poster out as well. You can already pop that into your box holder, or use your magnets or your clips if you have thought about how you will deal with a poster in a competition. You should have a plan, or just put it on your table. Yeah, so this one is a smaller group today. We have about 45 people participating. This was the only competition that did not sell out. So I hear the message loud and clear, you don't like larger pieces, which is a shame because there are some really lovely puzzles out there with larger pieces, and some brands only have 500 pieces in 500 piece puzzles with larger pieces. So it's cutting down the selection. All right, everyone has taken the poster out, has the box back in the middle of the table. All right, let's do a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Good luck, everybody.
And they are off. Good luck to everybody. And this, you were mentioning, Michelle, that speed puzzlers often gravitate away from big piece sizes. I think part of that is because they're just a little bit larger and a little more unwieldy. Let's take a look at the image that we're playing with.
Yeah, so this is from the brand Carletto. So you might recognize the box from Provence, Italy, California. I feel like there's another one we've done recently. I think we've done 3, and I did one in another competition. This is the image. It's called Medina Lafez. So like Moroccan leather bowls, perhaps, a saddle, different types of, or maybe they're beanbag cushions, something like that. And then this really gnarly mosaic in the background. Yeah, but I think puzzles with larger pieces are more common in the US because a lot of random cut puzzles have large pieces, right?
Yeah, there's several brands that have slightly larger pieces on the random, like you were saying. Like Cobble Hill is one. White Mountain can fall into that category as well. But it's a thing where because they're slightly bigger, whenever you're doing the flip, the pieces can kind of overlap on top of themselves a little bit, and you can end up unflipping things that you just flipped. And so that can be a little awkward. It's also a little more difficult to see where one part of the piece ends and another begins because you have more of the image on each piece, and so it kind of scatters your brain a little, just a little bit. So it's not unusual for big piece sizes to take, on average, just a little bit longer than their smaller sized counterparts.
Yeah, so since we have a smaller group today, I'm going to put 4 people up on the screen. I'll see how this goes. Yeah, so we'll start at the top of the alphabet. We have Aaron from United Kingdom, Alexandra from Switzerland, Amandine from France, and Annalise B from Belgium.
Yeah, and look at how well they're doing already. We're coming up on the 2-minute and 30-second line, and in some of the like real fast competitions, some puzzlers would be finishing up their flip around now. With these larger piece sizes, it's going to take just a little bit longer for even those faster folks. So it's not a surprise to see this happening. I really do like seeing Alexandra's setup here, where she's using that rainbow table set. So a lot of the pieces are starting to unfold away from that center pile. You can see Aaron in the upper left-hand corner there, jumping around, getting those last couple of pieces unflipped. And it looks like he's doing a little bit of a sort there, where some things are going off to the right-hand side that he's going to be able to target in on. I wonder if those are the darker browns or purples that are some of those bags in there, which would be pretty neat to see. And in the lower right, Annalise doing a fantastic job here. You can see that she has pulled over to the left-hand side a lot of those yellows. I think that bright yellow is going to be a really good pull, that bag that's in the lower middle of the image, because that is the most standout yellow. There's only little bits of green in it, and it's a nice anchor to get yourself squared away on.
Yeah, so we have some interesting setups today. It looks like someone doesn't have floor space. Maybe they are at a hotel. They're actually at least sorting the pieces on the bed. We have somebody puzzling on the floor, and we have someone puzzling at an airport. So we'll see. We send everyone our best wishes to make the best of your conditions right now. We hope you get there. So also with us, we have Birgit from Austria. That's Birgit K from Austria, and then Birgit W from Germany, Catherine from United States, and Charlene from Switzerland. So Charlene has the red table there. Hope she doesn't get too much glare. It looks like she has a light directly above her table, and that the table might be a bit reflective.
Yeah, just a little bit. It might also be at an angle where it's reflective to us, but not to her, which would kind of be the best case scenario. And in general, just a tip for puzzlers and folks watching. One of the best ways to light your table is rather than having a light aimed directly at it, if you aim your lights kind of up at the ceiling or up at the wall, so that way it bounces off, you get a little bit more of a diffuse light, and you're going to lower the glare on there. But it seems like Charlene's doing a really great job, has the flip done, and is now hammering in on that green bag. Catherine L in your lower left hand corner there, doing a pretty hefty sort while finishing up the flip. Using a couple of different trays there, but I think that she's really making an effort to group those greens and yellows in different spots, so that way she can zipper through those pretty quickly. Birgit K in your upper left-hand corner, going for that all pieces above sort of table set, and it looks like there's some small groups over on the left-hand side that are getting sorted out as well. And Birgit W using it, I think there's 4 different trays going right now, to try to organize all these pieces, and being very methodical up front on what the sort is going to look like for that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, Birgit W, she's amazing at sorting. She's amazing at using trays. So I think actually a large puzzle really plays to her strengths, whereas other people might get easily overwhelmed. She's always got the same plan. She has a really good routine when it comes to when the pieces come out of the box, she knows what she's got to do.
Yeah, having a default system so that way you're not really surprised is a great way to is a great way to make sure that you still make progress even when you're unsure of what to do next.
Yeah, so on screen right now we have Daniel from South Africa, but I do know that he lives in Germany. I have met him. He came to Trier. And then we have Amelia, who says, "I will start puzzling when I'm done with another meeting." Okay. Actually, Amelia won one of the competitions with large pieces, so that was very interesting. So previously we used the brand 3 times before. We've had larger pieces with Euro Graphics. This is the first time we're using another brand. Okay, so maybe people just didn't like Eurographics, but that had So I don't know. People have to tell me in the chat. Why did not many people buy this competition? Or is it because it started half an hour later? Yes. Anyway, maybe Amelia will come in and show us how it's done. Then we have.
I think Amelia is just giving everyone else a head start. That's probably the case.
Yeah.
Because she is a fantastic puzzler and really knows her way around these big piece sizes. But they are doing a really good job here. Franny in your upper right hand corner there has pulled all of the edges and is starting to work on those right away. I like this tactic of placing the pieces about where they're going to go as you're building the edge, because that helps frame everything out a little bit more and gives you it reduces the number of touches that you have to make each time. And you can see Freya in your bottom in the bottom screen there doing a very similar tactic here of building pieces and then already sliding them about where they're going to go. Doesn't need to be perfect, but the more accurate it is, the more it saves your time down the line.
Yes,
and even on Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, even on these big piece sizes, whenever it's a 500 piece puzzle, you're going to have about 86 pieces around that outside. So really making great progress here as we cross the 8-minute and 30-second line, coming into this EJJ with big pieces.
Yeah, so Fanny was from Hungary and Freya from Sweden, and I like Fanny's little mascot called Mr. Mookie. So just giving him a little extra spot in the spotlight. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A little bit more time in the sun. Okay, so we are now with Heike from Germany and Helen from the United Kingdom. Eva from Latvia, and Ilona from Germany. Yeah, when I did this puzzle, I did use trays. I tried to keep the same space that I normally puzzle and the same board, the same size board that I use for a 500 piece puzzle, but I did have some trays stacked up. Yeah, so something about larger puzzles is that if you do the border straight away, if you don't have much space, you end up pushing everything to the sides or having a lot of pieces in the middle of the image. So for those who have more of a constrained area, I expect to see them maybe leave the border for later, perhaps sort them out already, but just perhaps put them off to the side. Or people who have some massive dining tables, we might see them go straight away for the edge right up front.
Yeah, no, space is a huge thing, and I think this is kind of interesting. We were talking a little bit ago about online versus in-person competitions, that kind of thing. The table setup that you have really helps dictate how much space you want to or need to use in a lot of cases. We'd see Iona in the bottom screen here did a pretty hefty sort up front, has a lot of the oranges grouped together, and is now flying through that yellow bag that's in the lower middle, getting that all together. You can see Leva in the upper right hand corner has a decent chunk of the border already done, but also did that bag already. I think she's doing this upside down at the moment, or at least built the bag part upside down, and is then going to have to come around. I wonder if part of the tactic here is that because she has such a large table, she can use the oval side of it to kind of maneuver around from end to end, and all the pieces are sitting there. But I'm fascinated by the sort that's been done in there. You'd see Helen in the upper left-hand corner has a decent chunk of that border done. There's been some sorting, and I think a lot of these bags are going to come together pretty quickly. And then in the far left side is Herber, and you can see using those different sorting trays to their advantage. I'm really curious. A thing that happens with a lot of puzzlers, especially whenever there's this really dense pattern work that happens in a background, there's a reflex to just leave all of that pattern out to the side whenever they're sorting, rather than trying to group even those small details. Because if you look at that background, there's this big purple arc and solid purple lines in between the patterns, and if you can pull even those out of that chaos, that can really help start thinning the pile out or lowering the noise a little, and give you some anchors to play with as you go into that section.
Yeah, so some of the reasons why people are not participating in today's competition, because it's half an hour later, it's also a bit too late in Finland. So we do have different time zones. So it's more suited to the British or the Portuguese, who are 1 hour behind us. But the Finnish are already 1 hour ahead. So it's just a bit of a late start, and then adding on the 2 hours. Kinsey, yeah, would do it, but it's her lunch break at the moment, so her lunch break at the office, so that doesn't work. Some people Liga doesn't like extra large pieces. Yeah, Abby sometimes uses larger piece size puzzles for pairs competitions at her cafe. Yeah, so different reasons. Okay, so let's see who else is with us. We're at 13 minutes. Seeing some nice colorful chunks coming together at this point. Yeah, so we have Inga from the Netherlands, Jessica from Germany. So Jessica has been doing really well recently. She made the podium 4 times in the 50 Plus Club, and yes, is on her way out. She's on her way into the sub 50, so she's been doing really well. Then we have Johanna from Germany, who's puzzling on her knees. This is not the first time she's done this. She's done this a couple of times before in the flex competitions, so I have seen her puzzle, and somehow she still gets there in a really good time. Yeah, so just something that she's used to. It doesn't suit all of us, but some people, it's their preferred space. And then we have Julie from France.
And you could see Inga one of the things that I just adore about Inga's puzzling is that she is so good at color work. So I'm not surprised at all that she's really targeting a lot of those bags and boxes that are in the bottom part of the puzzle, and sort of branching out from those greens and blues and jumping around a little bit rather than doing a pure sunburst, because there's not a lot of gradient in here, so you have to be flexible. Jessica W, in the upper right hand corner there, you can see that she has the outline of the top part of the border, and that's what I was talking about earlier about getting a section of that repeating pattern that's just a little different. You can see that she's pulled out this lighter blue kind of shading that's in the middle of part of the background there, and is just going to town on it and has a really solid anchor. And hopefully she can keep that momentum going. Joanna, whenever you have to choose between protecting your back or protecting your knees, a lot of us protect our knees and then just kind of hurt our backs. But Joanna is going full in on sitting on her knees, has a full border just about done as we cross the 15-minute and 30-second line, and is getting some of those bags in. I think the maneuverability is a little bit of a factor here, but if she's really, really precise on getting those groupings, she's going to have no problem at all. And you can see in the lower right-hand corner, that's Julie P. Has almost the full border done, and you can see those pieces on that table take up a lot of space, and it's a full rainbow around that frame right now. And I think it's really interesting. Whenever you have this larger piece size, it forces you, like you were saying, Michelle, to make these decisions about how much space do I want to use and where do I put things. There's a lot of puzzlers that might usually put all the pieces above or to one side. And with this size, they might have to do a little bit more of a rainbow or a deeper seven.
Yeah, so we can see, yeah, it was very interesting that Jessica was going for the patterned, yeah, what would you call it, mosaic tile background. Yeah, as you say, there's these dark purple trims. Some of them are in lines, and then there's one that's like this big circle archway. And then in terms of the patterns, you have some that are a bit more flower shaped with like a orange flower in the center. So there are different patterns that you can also differentiate. So they are all the same colors. It's all blue, green, purple, and orange, but within that, they do have different patterns, yeah, textures. So on the screen right now, we have Justina from Poland, Karel from Netherlands, Katie from the United Kingdom, and Kim from the Netherlands. And you can see that big yellow block there. It's very obvious on Kim's screen on her board. I think it's a saddle. It's kind of bizarre. It's yellow and it has like these red things sticking up, and it's made of leather.
It is a saddle, yeah. I didn't catch that at first glance. And, a lot of puzzlers don't always recognize what it is they're building as they build it. They just know these things go together. I think Kim's tactic here of building a chunk and keeping it on the puzzle, on the sorting tray, helps save some space, which is a really good trick whenever you don't have a lot of room, is make the project and then keep it away from everything else so you still have room. But she is going to town on a lot of those other bags that are sitting there right on the left-hand side, the more colorful ones, rather than the sort of cascade of oranges that extend over on the right-hand side. You can see Justina has almost that whole left-hand side of the bag piles done,
I
and a
think
lot
they're
of other pieces
bowls.
sorted out.
I think they're
Oh, bowl.
bowls. Yeah, they're all kind
Oh,
of this shape.
okay. They look sort of like floppy bags. So I guess
Oh,
a leather bowl of sorts would make sense. Yeah.
actually, they kind of remind me of these puff cushions. We used to have one. It
Oh,
looks like
yeah.
they're empty ones, just without the beanbag inside it, without the filling. So yeah, they're okay. They could be hats or bowls or cushions. Yes.
I will say I really like if you look at Justine's hands, I really like how she's keeping her wrists mostly down and is using just her fingertips to go through. There can be a reflex to do a lot of like hands palm up, palm down, rotating. Uh, and that can eat into your time a little bit. So having that like light piano fan like touch is really cool. Carol in the upper right hand corner there has a lot of those little chunks done and is doing those island building. And over in the lower left hand side, Katie is also using that similar tactic. I want to point out a quick note somebody had in the chat from Thomas Oak saying that he has 2 pairs of puzzling trousers with worn out knees, specifically for doing large count puzzles on the floor.
It's cool.
Um, are the holes are the worn out knees? Do you replace them with like knee pads, or do you just let them wear away? I'm curious.
Lydia Getty, unfortunately your camera is off. Lydia Getty, could you please check that? Otherwise we have on screen Kinga from Poland. Oh yeah, thanks Lydia, it's working now. Kinga from Poland, Lena from Germany, also doing some interesting poses on the floor. Okay, so she did her sorting on the bed and now is going to assemble on the floor. We have Lydia from Italy and Lynn from Germany. And Sandra just sent me a message saying she's fangirling right now because Lynn Schiffman, because Sandra has a puzzle of Lynn's artwork. So Lynn is an artist and has produced puzzles using original artworks. And one of them had a lot of cats on it, golden cats. And so I think that's the one that Sandra ordered. And I've also done a couple. Yeah, so all the puzzles at Art and Pieces in Dortmund will be original artworks from Lynn, which is amazing.
Look at the progress that Kinga in the upper left hand corner here has made. Has 3/4 of the border built out. That entire left hand side of those bowls / bags, whatever they are, that colorful splotches on the left are all done. That saddle in the bottom is squared away, and so now she's just working on the remaining bits of that orange, and is just going to start moving on to the mosaic here before too long. I think that sorting tray has a lot of pieces that aren't necessarily flipped on it, and you have to wonder if that's one of those things where it's a space management. But I see another board over there to the side that has a lot more orange on it as well. I like in the upper right hand corner, Lena, using sitting down. Whatever is best for your back is always best. Safety first. But she's making great progress. Has that full border already built out, and Lydia moving around, using that entire table, going from side to side, jumping from edge to edge here to get some pieces in. You can see that she's done that whole left-hand side pretty rapidly, and has extra pieces sorted out from one end to the other. Lynn Schiffman in the lower left-hand corner, getting almost has the full border complete here from what we can tell, but has that left-hand side of bowls finished up. And now we're starting to reach that point of just whenever you have the full border, you have to reach a little bit further to get to those pieces that you want. You have to work a little bit harder to grab those other things. So I'm going to be really curious to see how she gets on here before too long. Lynn in the bottom middle has the whole left-hand side just about done. There's one missing piece in there, but she's going to be able to find that before too long. And you can see how far away these pieces stretch out on towards the edge with this table. It's really, really fascinating to see.
Yes. So we're at 22 minutes. So I was just chatting with my virtual assistants. So shout out to Sandra and Rika who are in the background and watching everybody. Just checking, is anyone going to finish sub 30? Do I need to quickly scrap the alphabet and jump around? But I think we're safe for the moment. Yeah. So we're halfway through the alphabet, and with us we also have Lynn from Belgium, so Lynn E from Belgium, Lynn T from United Kingdom, Magdalene from Austria, and Maya JT from Slovenia.
Yeah, there's a couple of people in the chat mentioning that the haptics of the large piece sizes are strange to them. I still say if you have access to a large piece size, do it, because you'll find out real quick how often you overload your hand with pieces and end up with a lot of things that you end up just picking up and putting right back down. So whenever you do a large piece size, you almost have to be more targeted, more specific before you pick things up, rather than being a little more haphazard. And large piece sizes are a great way to get comfortable. You can see Lynn in the upper left-hand corner has a big chunk of one of the orange bags built out there, and a lot of that yellow just going to town right there. Sandra's shouting out that Lynn's her partner for the New Year puzzle exchange. So keep on going strong. Magdalene, um, uh, for a moment, I thought she was puzzling from New Zealand because the camera was a different brand of sideways, from the upside down. But you can see that she has almost that full border built out. I think we're going to see that tactic from a lot of our puzzlers flying through here. Maya in the lower right-hand corner here has done a ton of work, almost has the full bottom with all of those bags and bowls built out. That upper border is there, and you can see she's made some anchors inside of that pattern area as well. Sorry, it's a little more. It's a little more of the bags. They were just placed kind of awkwardly, but she's going to be able to fly through the rest of this half, and then move on to those mosaics before too long.
Yeah, so I'm quite excited to see Maria TV. So Maria is traveling and she's actually at the airport. So you can see she's got a decent sized table, so that looks pretty good. But there are these funny blocks. Oh no, they're there's these boards where you can plug in your sockets, whatever you call them, plugs. So that's going to narrow her space. It looks like they're attached to the table. She can't move them.
Yeah, she might have a height issue here. She might have to build both halves of the puzzle and then just throw them onto the floor and tag them together real quick. It's gonna be exciting to see how she gets on with that. But doing a puzzle, surrounded by a lot of people that aren't familiar with puzzling, has got to be a fascinating experience, because I'm sure people are walking by right now, sort of gawking, trying to figure out what's going on. Why is this person doing a puzzle at an airport? But it's fun to see Maria go full Alejandro or full Kati and puzzling in places that you wouldn't normally do the thing.
Yeah, so so Maria TB, she's from Sweden, so I wonder where she's traveling to today. But yeah, good on her for giving it a go. It is interesting. I mean, I puzzled on my way to Valladolid. I was at the Luxembourg airport doing a puzzle, and yeah, when I packed away my puzzle, then some people started chatting to me, and we had an interesting conversation about competitions. And so I'm sure people are wondering what's going on, but good on her. We also have Mandy from United States, Melly from Switzerland, and Menaka from the Netherlands.
Yeah, Mandy's doing a solid job here. You can see a lot of that border starting to come together. These circle tables can be very hit or miss for a lot of puzzlers. I think with this big piece size, it can be a little bit of an advantage, because you have a little more room to do that spread above where you're going to end up building. But it does make the corners a little iffy and can hang over. And I know that can stress some puzzlers out, but Mandy's doing a really great job here. And I like how she stands up to find pieces and then sits back down to move on, rather than really hurling yourself over to try to find things. Whatever's easiest for your body is great, but usually if you can stand up to grab the pieces, that's going to help you out in the long run. You can see in the lower left-hand corner, that's Melly, has that full border built out, and it looks like she's done a pretty decent-sized pull of pieces into the middle of the build field. It looks like she's also doing a pretty specified sort. Each of those little clusters of pieces is pretty tight. So if that's a really well done sort out, she's going to be able to zipper through those rapidly and make up some extra time, which is fantastic. And Miniki in the lower right hand corner has that whole left hand side of colored patterned worked out very, very well. And a lot of that bottom border, you can see that she's also isolated that chunk of that background mosaic that has just the big orange circle in it that branches out a little bit. I think that's a really cool tactic. And this is one of those things where if you have really good eye acuity, you can see little chunks inside the mosaic to grab onto. So I think grabbing those sets of like the orange circles that are surrounded by the blue dots, as opposed to getting lost in the sauce and going all oranges, all greens, all blues. If you can recognize that little bit of pattern of going, oh, the deepest orange with a little bit of purple or blue, that's going to give you a good foothold to keep grabbing and moving on from.
Yeah, so coming up to 30 minutes, so a bit more relaxed tonight. There's no not being surprised by some ninja puzzler coming in at sub 30. Yes, and we have moving on, we have Nina from Slovenia. Oh, we have a lot of Slovenians recently, and they're getting faster. Before we would have like maybe once every 2 months, one participant from Slovenia, and in the last few competitions we've had like 2, 3, or 4. So I think speed puzzling is really taking off there. And one of them in particular, Maya, did really well in the 50 plus competition. I was on the podium twice, and also Moisture as well. So great things happening in Slovenia. We also have Orla from Ireland, Rachel from United Kingdom, and Robert from Sweden.
Yeah, Nina's doing a great job in your upper left-hand corner there. You can see that it looks like she also has that limited height space on the table. So a lot of the pieces are over on the left-hand side that she's going to have to kind of sweep back and forth for. But whenever you have this small chunk of things that are very similar, as long as you're able to access the pile and be really targeted, you're going to be in a good spot. Orla in the upper right-hand corner with that green table, with that green coloring on the table there. That's an interesting color to see. I don't think it's gonna bog her down too much, because most of the pieces are like that orange or blue background. There's not a lot of straight green that'll get lost in there. Sort of like whenever a weather reporter uses the same color dress or suit as what the background screen is. You want to try to avoid situations where the colors can get lost. And I think Orla's going to be in a good position here, as that full border, that left-hand side, is now trying to dig into those pinks and oranges. Rachel Chambers in the lower left-hand side, in the lower left-hand corner, one of the fastest puzzlers in the world right now. You'd see why. She has almost the whole bottom half of this puzzle built out, a lot of that upper border squared away, and is now trying to do the outline of the mosaic along those bags and bowls in order to give a little bit more of a foothold in there. But Robert Atkinson, not too far behind her here, as he has most of that bottom portion of the puzzle done, and a lot of things are already sorted. So he's going to be able to get the rest of those orange bags in here pretty quickly, and try to keep pace with Rachel. Here. Victor's asking, why are Rachel's colors different from the poster? I don't think they're that different. I think it's mostly camera and lighting, but we can do a double check once she's done and take a look. Yeah, it's cropped a little bit. That's the bigger thing.
Yeah, and do you notice Robert has just stuck his poster onto the wall in front of him, which is also such a simple and yet genius idea. If you're puzzling in front of a wall, stick your poster onto the wall. Have some blue tack or whatever that tacky stuff is that you can just attach it. There's always innovative puzzling ideas. Okay, we've reached the end of the alphabet. Let's just add the last participant. We've got Romina from Switzerland, Sammy from United States, Tammy from United States, Wendy from United States, Yasmin from Austria, and Zana from Latvia.
Wow.
Oh.
You'd see Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, look at Wendy. She's got she's using like a tablet holder for her poster. That's also a really good idea. That's perfect.
Yeah, we're starting to see more and more unique solutions for like I think a lot of the box top holder solutions have been solved at this point, and it's a matter of what you lean towards, what's your favorite. But for posters, there's a whole variety of things that are still getting solved out. You can see Sammy Brownlow in the middle top of your screen there. Sammy just used a box top holder and tilted it up. And even though you can't see the bottom part of that poster, she already has most of that done and can now move on to the rest of the image that's in there. She has a small little pocket of pinks and oranges left on the left-hand side, but she is flying right now and is up in contention with some of the other leaders to finish this out in a really good position. You can see Romania in the upper left-hand corner is a little backlit, and that lighting may play into effect going forward. But she has that whole left-hand side done, and I really like that the sorting that's been made here in order to keep her moving very, very quickly. Tammy McLeod, one of the Guinness World Record holder in puzzling, in your upper right-hand corner from the U.S. She is finishing up those oranges. You can see her hands moving rapidly, knowing that she can now shift a little bit more into shape work in order to get some of these pieces in, rather than rely solely on what the image is. Every time you can get an extra bit of information, it helps you move things through. What can be a little tricky is that those oranges are split on both the right and left side. So if it's a case where those are split specifically because it's very, very clear and she can just sink those in, that's going to help her move forward. But you can see that little burst of energy. She's now doing another pull inside of the mosaic to keep trucking right there. Tammy's doing a fantastic job. Wendy in the lower left-hand side, like we were saying, that poster is up on a little tablet pen, but she's also boxed out on the table what normal regulation puzzle size is. And this is where that large piece size is really coming into play. And you can see that she's having to be really, really precise with what pieces she picks up and then puts into place. Yasmin in the lower middle here has that full border worked out, and you can see some of those pieces are it's not overhanging the edge of the room, because she has one very large I'm not going to say sorting tray, but it's a puzzle mat of sorts that's covering a chunk of the table to keep everything on in there. And you can see that she's pulled the reds and those yellows onto the build field, and it's going to start working away on that. Really, really cool to see. Xana in the lower right-hand corner has the bottom border just about finished here and is working up on that yellow saddle, making some really excellent progress right now.
Yeah, and I love Tammy's speed. You can just see she's really accelerating, and she's just working with so much intention. Yeah, doing a fantastic job there. So let's close in now on those who could be in the running. We're going to jump ahead to Inga. Unfortunately, Emilia is still in her meeting, if I understand. Yes, I understand. She's unfortunately still in her meeting. I hope that she at least gets some puzzling in during this 2 hours. Let's see. Inga, Rachel and Magdalene are also doing well. Robert.
Freya's doing excellent. Robert's doing excellent. This is going to be really tight.
Okay, so yeah, all those on screen now have pretty much done the lower half of the puzzle, and then we can see Inga and Rachel have done that full arc, and Freya has done this inner sunflower like piece. Okay, so it's really getting into those details of that, really of the texture. But looking really good here. Sammy, Tammy, Inga, Magdalene, Rachel, and Freya, and we'll see who else is in the running for the top 10.
Yeah, and you can see that Rachel and Inga, I was keeping an eye on them in the background. They both use that tactic of getting those darker purple outlines to do that arc, to put those hard lines in, and then filling the space in between, rather than trying to do the entire mosaic all at once. Every so often I say the best way to eat a whale is one bite at a time. Right? You have to take the smallest chunks that are clear to start digging through it, and they're doing a fantastic job here. Robert Atkinson trying to finish up that top border so that way he can sandwich the rest of this, the rest of everything in. Freya working a little bit from both sides, both the inside and the outside, finishing up that border, and that initial circle is inside of there. And this is one of those cases where If you have too many pieces in the field, does it block your box or does it make your life easier? The fastest way to get out of it is to build out. And Freya is a fantastic puzzler and might be able to make some progress in there, but it's a really tricky mosaic to try to finish up. Sammy doing an excellent job here as well. But taking another look, Jessica W. has the entire mosaic built out after the 38-minute line and is now working on the bottom half. I'm not sure she's going to be able to keep up with some of the other leaders, but it's really cool that she used that same tactic of outlining things, filling it in before moving on. Really, really cool. Carol in the lower right-hand corner, moving up towards the mosaics here. Really, really exciting to see how everybody's getting on at this stage.
Yeah, we have a lot of people who are about halfway through. You can see in the little thumbnails that there's several people who've done most of the colorful, cushiony things. And yeah, I really love how Jessica has done this top-down approach. It's just nice seeing the complete mosaic as it should be. Everybody else just has bits, suns and flowers and some of the walls and some of the darker bits, but we can see that's how it's supposed to be. So looking really fantastic there, Jessica. Hope you can just get those colorful parts done really quickly. But looking really good, everyone. We're at 39 minutes.
Is anybody going to be able to? I think we're going to be able to have a couple finishers keep this down under 50, but it's going to be tight. Rob just finished the upper border of that mosaic and is now trying to go through and lock in some anchor points. Inga is flying to finish up the rest of this mosaic. She has that full circle outline and is now maybe down to the last 30 pieces or so. Magdalena not too far behind. I can't quite see because of the angle, but I think she's at about 40 pieces. But Inga is so good at being able to use shape work once you're down into this last little bit. She is flying right now. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal job.
Yeah, and Alona has turned her puzzle upside down so that she can be closer to the mosaic section. Everybody else is reaching across the table to finish the top part, or some are standing, as you can see Inga and Jessica are. But yeah, there's another option. If your table is large enough, you could spin it around, but then you'll be working upside down. But actually, it doesn't really matter because a mosaic is a pattern that goes in every direction. So sure, why not? Do it like that.
Yeah, at a certain point, it becomes a thing of whatever is the easiest access. Whenever it's really abstract, flipping it around upside down doesn't hurt you at all. I know some puzzlers really get hyper fixated on certain aspects, and if they rotate it, they stress themselves out. But these puzzlers are really, really flying right now. You can see Rachel Chambers finishing up the outside portions of that mosaic and now has that inner circle that's remaining. Inga mostly onto that inner circle at this point. Magdalena doing a really fantastic job. I think there's some of the outside border ends that are going to finish up here. And this is one of those cases where if you can tell those darker parts of the mosaic versus the brighter parts, you might have a good idea about which ones are on the outside versus the inside, or even those two straight lines, you can see the really bright portions of the mosaic to play around with. So you get the color, you get shape, you get the positioning. Anything you can do to get more pieces in is the way to go right now. And Inga is flying into the finish here. You can see Rachel not too far behind at this point, but I think this is going to be mostly Inga's to play around in. I'm trying to look around. Freya doing a really excellent job branching out from that center part of the mosaic here. Sammy Brownlow also coming into the close. You can see that she has the outline of that big arc to finish up, and then is then going to come in. But Inga is down to the last 2-3 pieces. Get that last one in. She hits the timer. She is smashing the timer multiple times.
Well done, Inga. 42 minutes, 23 seconds for a large piece puzzle. That's how it's done. Very nice.
Congratulations. Phenomenal job. Really, really, really well done. And that mosaic part is not easy to do, but Inga made it look that way by virtue of being the fantastic puzzler that she is. But now the hunt continues for who is going to be in our top 10, who's going to be the next couple of finishers that we have coming into the rest of this puzzle. Several of them trying to finish up the mosaic. I think Jessica W. Hitting a little bit of a wall, getting to that bottom part, playing catch up in the bottom half. But this is really flying here.
Yeah, we have several people all in the same position that they're getting stuck now into the mosaics, but all from different angles. You can see some of that inner flower. Others are going for the archway, the outer ring. Others, like Freya, are working more on the textures on the sides, and then working their way towards the middle. The patterns on the side are a bit, a bit more logical, I guess, because they're like squares on top of each other. It's not like this flowery pattern that goes around in a circle. So that's also when you see like these vertical lines, you can block those in. And Johanna on her knees is doing a fantastic job there. So that's what she's done as well. She's also done the outer, more squarish patterns and is now starting on the circle. But looking really good here. But Rachel on her final pieces. She's got the pieces on the puzzle, which kind of makes sense for a puzzle like this, which is so large. Just be a bit closer, filling in those gaps.
Oh, sorry, got dropped there for half a second, which is not when you wanna, not whenever you wanna lose track of people. But this is phenomenal. Rachel's down to the last handful of pieces here. Inside the middle, she hits it. There it is.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Woo! Second place. Fantastic, Rachel.
Fantastic job on a very difficult chunk of a puzzle. This one's not super straightforward, but all of those little cues and tricks start adding in over time. Trying to pull up some of our other folks here. Magdalene has maybe about 50 or 60 pieces remaining. I think Magdalene and Sammy are running about even right now. You can see Johanna using that really cool tactic of keeping the pieces close to the puzzle, so that way she can maneuver them rather quickly. And I find it fascinating that she was able to do that straight line up from the bags all the way to the top, and then can do sort of a sandwich from either side in towards the middle there, which is really cool. Robert flying right now, doing an excellent job playing catch up after hitting in on that mosaic chunk. He is coming into maybe the last, I want to say 75 pieces or so. Made a really strong anchor of that orange circle in the center, and is now bouncing back and forth to finish up the outside parts of that mosaic that have a slightly different color in the background. And that's one of those things where if you have good color acuity, the shading can be a thing that's just enough of a tip off to tell you about where things are going to go. It's about limiting the number of potential places things can go to give you the highest chance of getting just a few more things in.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Robert organizes the Puzzle Rush competitions. He's based in Sweden, and that's a competition of about 20 or 30 people. I did a Puzzle Rush on Monday, so I'm very happy that he's organizing them, and he's just a very nice man. We have a lot of conversations as we are organizers, and it's really great what he's doing there. And
you were both from the same cloth.
Yes. And we're actually very similar speeds, so often he's like just right behind me, or like other way around. So I think he's definitely gonna beat my time by a lot, because we're coming up to 48 minutes, and I was done at 1 hour and 5, and I think he's gonna be done in a few minutes. So he's you said he's flying on this one. He's doing amazing.
Yeah. Look at Sammy Brownlow accelerating into the finish here. Similar thing to what Johanna did. She made that line going up from the bags all the way to the top through the center eye of that mosaic, and can now use the shape on both sides in order to finish it up here. This is really tricky puzzling throughout here, and I know that it's not Sammy's style to do this kind of repeating pattern, and it can be very stressful for some puzzlers to deal with that. But she's doing a great job right now, bouncing back and forth, trying to finish it up. You can see Robert trying to get those outside pieces in. He's trying to use the discernment of which are the darker background pieces to get those side panels locked in. And every so often, he's also picking up that purple outline of the arc and sinking it in as well. So he's simultaneously going from purple arc to those darker backgrounds to line them in. Really, really clever puzzling. Magdalena is trying to get those gaps filled in, has put all of the pieces above the puzzle so that way she can just drag them down and put them about where they're going to go. Carol, doing a really solid job, has the full outline of both the arcs and almost both of those vertical bars in, and she's going to be able to move on to using mostly shape work. You can see that she has the upper part of those blue of that mosaic that has a little bit of a blue background and finish that off. Johanna, trying to get that left-hand side of the puzzle done with that different color shading. Now that the vertical line that's all the same bright orange with the green center is locked in, trying to do that same thing over on the other side and get those locked down as well. Really, really fantastic puzzling. And Tammy McLeod in the lower right-hand corner, making excellent progress here. You can see that she's also doing the simul, trying to get that little bit of an arc and also getting those more shaded pieces locked in at this stage.
Okay, so I want to let Magdalene and Sammy know they are running for third place. Robert really close behind, top 6. Go, go, go. Doing really well.
It's gonna be so tight here coming into the end.
Yeah, we only have 2 finishes so far, but then we have another wave. We have several people all working on those mosaics, like Justina and Maya. JT are also doing fantastic. I'm going to go check in on Jessie again because she was the one who did hers the opposite direction. I wonder how her lower part of the puzzle is coming together.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be really exciting to see how it comes in. I can't keep track of everybody, but we're certainly going to try to. We're going to see if we can get as many finishes as we can. The Sammy Brownlow is down to the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe about 20 pieces here. I can't quite see Magdalena. It might be about the same. They are going piece for piece though. A lot of Sammys are all in that same central circle region. Magdalene has some of hers in that center. You can see she's accelerating. I think she's reached the point of zero ambiguity. So any piece she picks up can go in. So she is blazing through the end here. Sammy Brownlow trying to keep pace, but there's a few more large gaps than Sammy's puzzle compared to Magdalene's. Magdalene down to the last 5 pieces or so, just zooming into the end here, using that shape work to finish this out. Is she going to be able to keep this under the 50-minute line? I sure hope so. It's going to be kind of close. Get those last 3 pieces in, Magdalene. You can do it. Go, 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 go.
Congrats, Maggie.
And here it is.
Maggie, third place with a time of 51 minutes and 10 seconds. So Inga was 42 minutes, Rachel 44, and Magdalene 51. So I think that's like the most spread out podium we've ever had, potentially, of 9 minutes between first and third place. No, actually, we had some first place people who were like 10 minutes ahead of second place. So, but yeah. Interesting.
Congratulations. And Sammy's coming into the last 3 pieces here. Just sink them in. At this point, that fatigue is showing for everybody just a little bit. There it is. Congratulations.
Go, Sammy. 4th place. Yes. That's Sammy's, apart from a pairs competition, that is Sammy's best solo ranking. Well done, Sammy.
And we know that big piece 500s run a little bit slower on average, and even more so whenever it's a tougher one. And you can see that starts to like expand the times going through. But everybody's doing such a fantastic job right now as we keep cruising in to finish up this 500 piece big piece size puzzle.
And Freya takes 5th place. Congrats, Freya.
There it is. Congratulations.
So less than a minute behind Sammy. Okay, so also on screen we have Robert, Karel, Johanna, Jessica. Yeah, I think Tammy is also in the running for top 10.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And Maya, yes. Okay, but just based on least number of pieces, I think Maya JT could do it. Or Robert.
It's gonna be
Or
really close.
Carol.
I think Maya has fewer big gaps. I think she has more of a Swiss cheese close, and you can see she's grabbing a piece and throwing it in. There's no uncertainty. It's that point of zero ambiguity for her. Anything she picks up can go in, and she is rapidly closing this out. I think there's only one more piece. She's going to hit the button here. There it is. Congratulations, Maya.
6th place. Well done, Maya.
Congratulations.
Yes. Oh, looking good. Yeah, so I think I have everyone. Yeah.
Carol not too far behind. And this is where we start seeing what the physicality game is. Can you keep focus after 54 minutes of puzzling? Can you keep the energy going? Can you keep yourself hyped up in order to finish real strong? Johanna and Carol neck and neck right now. I think Johanna is speeding up just a little bit to get these last couple of pieces, and Carol knows that the adrenaline's hitting, is trying to keep the hands moving. There's a little bit of uncertainty, trying to rotate them in her fingers real quick. They have about 4 or 5 pieces remaining. I think Johanna is right there next to her. Is she going to be able to hit the button?
Yes.
Johanna ran away. There it is. Congratulations, Johanna. Carol not too far behind. Get those last 3 pieces in. There it is. Congratulations to both of you.
Oh, well done. So 2 places left in the top 10. Come on, Robert. Yes, almost there. And yeah, it could be. Yeah, after that, there's many people in the same position. You can see that Robert's done a quick shape sort just to, yeah, help him fill in those gaps. But yeah, Jessica, Tammy, Ilona, Justina. Let's take a. And I hear that Aaron has started on the mosaics. So yeah, looking really good, everybody. Keep going.
This is some fantastic puzzling, especially here towards the end. After you've been staring at the same pieces for 30 plus minutes, your eyes start going a little blurry. You might forget to blink every so often, and so everything starts looking the same. And so being able to maintain that discernment, that focus at this stage is really, really difficult, and they're doing a great job. I do want to point out Tammy's puzzle hair clips. I think that's brilliant. Puzzle fashion, a thing inside of the puzzle world that's always really exciting. But I think I think Rob is doing a really, really solid job here. He's being very methodical, not flailing, not floundering, just going one piece at a time to sink them in bit by bit, trying to maintain that pace to finish strong and stay in the top 10. Yeah, Victor, this isn't a random cut. It's still a grid cut on this particular brand, and that can make it, especially with mosaics, it can make it a little trickier to keep the discernment going whenever you have that hyper repeating pattern on a grid cut.
Yeah, you can see Aaron's done the outer circle and the inner flower of the mosaic, and yeah, looking really solid there. Justina also doing fantastic. Ilona, I see that Ilona has pulled out a lot of the pieces. Before she had bits like inside the frame, and she's now taken them out. Yeah, you really have to pay attention to the angle of the purple bits to fill out the circle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that, I really like Ilona's move there of taking some pieces out. If the box is too full, fix the box a little bit. Rob, coming into the last piece, there it is, sink it. Congratulations. Under an hour. Very, very well done. That's a super exciting time, Rob.
Fantastic.
Oh, wow. And we could see Tammy pushing herself to try to finish this out very, very quickly. I think there's maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, maybe about 20, 25 pieces or so remaining for Tammy here coming into the close. Aaron doing a great job. I really like how quickly he got the outline of those of that darker part of the arc and those vertical lines in, and then using the shading to finish it up. Very, very smart puzzling. Justina right there with him. I think Justina is slightly ahead. You can see that Justina did more of using the side, the background for that repeating pattern to get those bigger parts of the line in before moving into into worrying about the arc or those purple lines. Really, really cool if you can see the colors well. And she is doing a great job coming into the close here.
Yeah, so it looks like Tammy could be in the running for 10th. I don't see anyone near her. I mean, everybody else has a few more. Well, it's between Tammy and Jessica in terms of pieces left. So go. Last 10, the top 10 spot is available. But yeah, we have in the next wave, there's going to be a lot of people similar because we have a fair number of people who've finished the bottom half and are working their way on the mosaics. Yeah, I've also just added Catherine and Charlene to the screen. They're doing a really great job on there.
Oh, come on, Tammy, you can do it. Keep on pushing. This is where it's really difficult because all of that mosaic looks so similar after you've been staring at it for 20 minutes. So at this stage, you pick up a piece, it has to go in somewhere. There's no more ambiguity. Jessica has some of those bigger gaps, so it's a little more of a pot shot trying to move from one side to the other. Tammy has all of her pieces in the same spot. The last two pieces going in. Get that last, oh, there's one more piece that was on top of the puzzle. There's a missing piece somewhere. Where is it going to be? Is it inside the bag? Oh, there's okay. She got it.
But there's two pieces
Tammy.
missing at the top. Yeah. Okay.
It might be sitting in the bag. Just finishing up those oranges, bouncing back and forth. This is some fantastic puzzling just across
Tammy,
the board.
did you
Everybody's doing a really good job.
Tammy, did you click done? I don't see your message. Did you click?
Oh, she's trying to find the thing.
Sorry. There was just a bit of a delay.
Okay.
I've got you. All right. Congrats. Top 10 to Tammy. Fantastic. Okay. We now have Inga. You can join us for a quick chat about tonight's puzzle.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello there. Congratulations. Fantastic job. So tell us, what did you think of this beast of a puzzle?
I liked it. I knew it was large piece count, and then it's like a size of 1,000 piece puzzle. But always when I'm doing it, I'm like, oh, this is so big, because I started with the edge, and then I was like, oh, my edge just keeps going. So it's always bigger than I think. But no, I liked it with all these colorful baskets. So like you said, I enjoy those colorful things. So that was fun. And I like that it also has a trickier part. Like it's a nice balanced puzzle in that way. So you have very different sections. But for the mosaic, there were some clues, right? So you had the orange flower in the middle, and then like the arch and the vertical line. So there were quite some differences. And every time you did one of those, you're like, okay, oh, now I see something else. And then you can continue. So that was really fun. Only like the middle parts I thought was kind of tricky. There were some distinct sections, like there was like a blue glare on some of them and a brownish glare on the others, but then the other parts in the middle were quite difficult, I think.
Yeah, whenever I was curious, whenever you were going through, there's always this debate about, do you do the hard part of the puzzle first or the easy part of the puzzle first, that kind of thing. Why did you choose the process that you did?
Honestly, usually I like to try and start, if it has these distinct sections, I like to start with the top half so that I can just work away. Like I always have the puzzle right in front of me, right? I don't need to flip it around or whatever, but I think the colors were just too distinct they were shouting at me. I always say like the pieces are talking to me, right? So I couldn't ignore the colorful baskets.
No, it's so interesting what your eye kind of like latches onto and then fixates on a little bit. Was there any part of this that, as you were doing it, you kind of thought, maybe I'm doing this in a weird way and I should try something else? Or was this a very like cut and paste, this is the process that it's going to work for me?
Yeah, I think it was, I just did something I saw and then looked again like, oh, what stands out to me now? And then I did that. I think it was pretty smooth. So except until I got to the middle part of the circle, for a second I was just like, okay, I don't see any difference now. But other than that, I think it was fine. It was pretty structured. I started with the border, then I did all the colorful baskets, then the brown basket, and some pick and placing in between, because I'm always like that. Oh, this is this basket over there. And I sorted out some of the arch already because they stood out. And I was like, oh, then at least I already have them ready when I will start working on it. For the arch, I didn't immediately realize that it was like 2 blue lines next to each other. So I had some of the parts, I was like, why is it not fitting? It should already be here. Well, it was only like the first few, and I was like, oh, it's 2 of them. So
it's always fun whenever that like obvious, not obvious thing jumps out at you at the last minute.
Yeah. So no, I enjoyed it.
How do you, for those of us mere mortals that struggle with a lot of the parts of an image that are very the same, and I'm not talking about the mosaic because there's lots of pattern tricks you can use in that, but for like the bowls / bags / whatever whatever we're gonna call them, that are very, very similarly orange all over the place, how do you approach that kind of speed bump in a puzzle?
I think there was a little bit of a color difference. So some of them are a bit of a lighter brown. And there's a little bit of a orientation, right? The ones on the right are really stacked straight on top of each other, but then ones on the left are just a little bit tilted. And then you had the one in the middle that was like very light brown. And then the alternating light dark brown, I don't know, bag poof kind of thing in the middle. That one, all of the pieces, all of them, most of them had like a part of the dark brown on the piece as well. So you could tell it was one of those. And usually I like to work from outside in, right? Because the outside pieces usually have some small clues from where they go. Like the dark shadows on the left side, they have like, you can see there's something else, right? It's not just the bags. But it is a trickier part than the colorful ones, obviously.
Gotcha. Well, our theme for today is about what you would want to see as like leagues, or how you might want to set one of those up. Any sort of thoughts or ideas that you have about that?
I didn't really read the question beforehand this time, so I didn't have time to think about it. I was just thinking when you were discussing it at the beginning, I would think it would be interesting, but I don't know if that's really in leagues, but to sort of, based on your puzzle type, to divide people, but also maybe just stats wise. Like, I would be very interesting to see how the puzzlers do in like a landscape league or a busy puzzle league, like that. It would be sort of different categories, but also that I would just be interested in the stats, right? Maybe some people who don't know what they're very good at, for example, and then all of a sudden you can see, oh, I'm much better at landscapes than I thought, for example, because you do relatively well or something. That was the only thing I was thinking about, but I don't know if that's really about leagues. But
well, I think that's a really interesting take on things, because how many people have said this isn't my type of puzzle, and other people are like, no, this is exactly my flavor, right? Like, I think it would be interesting to see how people do both outside of their favored style and inside their favored style.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think what we also sometimes discuss is that, like, for example, at Worlds or many other competitions as well, you have your preliminaries are relatively easy puzzles, and then all of a sudden the final is a much more difficult puzzle. And you're actually testing different skills. Easy puzzles have a different skill than a hard puzzle. So I think those kind of distinctions might also be interesting for a league, that you specifically choose whether you're going for like an easy puzzle. So it's really about hand movement, or like a more difficult puzzle where it's more about shape work, or those are also very different kind of different kind of skills that you're testing.
Yeah, I think that's for a lot of puzzle organizers, that's one of the difficult things to figure out is how much and how many different skill sets do you want to test people on at the same time, right? Like Victor was even in the chat saying that sometimes the just fast ones aren't as fun because there's not as many different skills. Whereas something like this, there's a lot of different tools that you can use in, and it becomes a thing of what style, what sort of things do you want to play around with. So I think that's a really cool idea to kind of group it based on image almost, image style in different ways. That would be really fun.
But then
Because
sorry. I was just gonna say, but then doesn't that give it away? Well, at least for a mystery puzzle, at least for me, if I was doing the competitions, I wouldn't want to say today's a landscape competition. Then I don't know. Is that giving away too much information?
Yeah, no, I I get that. I think it's just for me, it's just like at competition. Sometimes it's weird that preliminaries test different skills than finals. Like for example, the pairs competition, you're doing 500-piece puzzles in preliminaries and then 1,000-piece in final. That's a completely different skill. Like it's so different. So I just feel like maybe it should at least be consistent. So that will be a league, right? You could go for 1,000-piece or the 500-piece pairs, for example, instead of trying to do everything in one competition.
Yeah,
but it's just pushing testing different skills. So if you're very good at 500-piece pairs, you might do very bad in the final, even though you could have won maybe if it was just a 500-piece competition.
Yeah. I wonder, one of the things that I think about sometimes is how much information should the puzzlers have before starting about the image, right? Like, if people didn't know this was a large piece format 500 whenever they signed up, would they still have enjoyed it and maybe scared themselves away from it because they're nervous about it, as opposed to giving it a fair shake? Or is it the case that you get a more holistic view of people that are into that style, and that becomes like the league thing? So I'd be curious about if it's better to be surprised or not whenever it comes to those kinds of measurements.
Yeah, I think you also have sometimes a competition where you know beforehand what the puzzle will be, right? So then it's also, you're also testing a different skill, but that's just how fast can you get at a puzzle if you can practice and know it beforehand. So that's also, I think, super interesting. You can do so many different things, so many different types of competitions. But indeed, here, I guess, with telling that it's a larger piece count, people can practice those, and indeed, other people might get scared away. I know Ella was like, I don't like larger piece counts. Like, you know, she hates them. It's not just a dislike. So, yeah.
But I do appreciate how you say it's different skills. Like with a fast puzzle, it's more about like how fast can you, like your dexterity, like how fast can you actually move, and like your eyes are, you know, this whole kind of this processing, this really quick processing that's going on in your mind. Whereas with puzzles that are harder, it's more, or like with less color on it, you're more focused on shape recognition, and maybe like endurance or concentration more come into play, as opposed to just raw, like, oh, I'm just like got mosquito hands.
Yeah, and then like a competition like today, it's also much more about space management than some other competitions, right? And that's also a different skill, because you can do that in a good way, you can do that in a very bad way. I'd like to say that I always have the perfect setup, but I don't. So.
Wait, what do you mean you're not perfect? I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that for one moment. I've never. You don't make mistakes when you're puzzling, Inga. That's just not possible. It's.
I think I'm just very chaotic. So sometimes I feel like I have a plan, but it doesn't really always pan out. And like I sort out the edges, like always during my flip, but I don't always put them in the same place. So then I have my camera set up on that side of the table, and I sort my pieces all the way over there. and where I sort my edges is where I'll do my puzzle. And then my box top holder is also all the way on the wrong side, so I have to slide everything over to the side of the table I wasn't even supposed to be at. So, I mean, that kind of thing happens to me a lot.
Well, I mean, today you did a fantastic job, and congratulations. It's really wonderful. Is there any shout outs you want to give to people before you go on with the rest of your day?
Well, I don't know.
That's all right.
Well, to the other gym, of course, always. Who's here supporting me?
That's the real Jim. I'm the imaginary Jim. That's.
He's coming over for the shout out.
Hi, Jim.
Oh, and
Hi,
my
Jim.
mascot, Jutta.
I
It's
was
a
wondering
fantastic
about
mascot.
that.
I keep switching up my mascots, but we have this one from it's a park in the Netherlands, it's Efteling. And it's like from the winter version. It's they have this guy who is I don't know, hanging upside down with a mistletoe in his hands, and he's very cute. So he's now supporting me for my puzzling. I don't know if he will keep doing it, but for now he's here.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations again. Fantastic job. And we'll see you at the next one.
Thanks so much, Inge. Congrats. Yeah, so we are now up to 22 finishes. So around half of the participants have finished. We're at 1 hour and 14 minutes. So we still have 3/4 of an hour to go. Before we move on to Rachel, I'd just like to mention who we've got on screen. We've got Maria TB at the airport, and her puzzle is sideways, sandwiched between these two blocks. Like the puzzle is 50 centimeters deep. So the gap between those two blocks is exactly 50 centimeters.
Oh, wow.
That is absolute luck, I have to say. Like, if it was like 3 centimeters less, her puzzle would be like crumpled. But keep going, Maria TV. You're doing a fantastic job, and I'm glad you found a way to puzzle this massive thing with those really weird blocks attached to the middle of the table. Yeah, we've also got on screen Catherine, Birgit, who are coming up to the close. And Len is also doing a fantastic job there. I'll just add a few more people to the screen. And then when Rachel is ready, she can join us. Yeah, so Birgit also closing in on those, closing those gaps around the mosaic. And Nina looking also in a very similar spot. But yeah, so some of the people are saying, Victor, trying to do everything in the same category is useless unless you take all of the results under consideration when choosing the winners. Because we are testing puzzlers on different styles and puzzles, but you are only rewarding them for the final one. Yeah.
And that it makes sense, right? Like at the World's semifinals, Emma Williams came in first ahead of Veronica on that chaotic cute kawaii chaos puzzle, but then Veronica won the final and did an amazing job. So I think there's lots to be said for what puzzles should count and everything, but it's also a lot to try to organize and add up and everything. So I don't think there's ever going to be one perfect answer, perfect solution. There's just more and more interesting ways to play around with it. And Veronica is a total puzzle beast, which is really exciting. Oh, I like Marianne's comment. Speed puzzling with hurdles, the new EJJ format. I am still pushing for a 4x4, a 4x500, where you have to complete a 500-piece puzzle and a lap around a track by pushing the table. I think that would be fantastic.
All right, so Rachel is joining us. Greetings.
Hi.
Our second place podium for this evening. So you're working your way up the podium. One day you want to get first.
I feel like today might be my day, but Inga was just too quick.
Well, you did a fantastic job just the same. Tell us a little bit about what you were thinking whenever you saw this come out of the box.
I really like the puzzle image. Like, I love like kind of photography type things, and this kind of style with the bright colors and the like kind of more intricate mosaic. I really liked the variety that was in the puzzle.
That's awesome. What was kind of your plan knowing that this was a bigger piece cut size?
I'd actually kind of forgotten, and I was in a rush to log on, so I didn't really make a plan. But if I'd remembered, I definitely would have puzzled at a bigger table because I barely had space. I think I've got the completed piece of my puzzle like table now, and it pretty much the like sort of height of it is about the height of my table plus maybe about 5-10 centimeters. So then I only have like to the side maybe a foot of space, and that's it, like for all the pieces. So it's not ideal.
So no margin for error, you're telling me.
No. I did drop a few pieces on the floor. They got pushed off, so I kept having to dive down and collect them.
Oh, well, it's always. Tell us a little bit about what it feels like to drop a piece in a pressure situation when everything's like crammed like that. What were you thinking?
It's annoying, and especially because I dropped it, and normally I look down so I can see like, can I see it on the floor? And if I can see it straight away, I'm like, fine, I'll know it's there. I'll grab it when I get a moment. But it's if I can't see it where it's gone on the floor, then I'm just like, I need to find it because I'll forget. So yeah, it's just annoying, but one of those things that if I'd like remembered and actually planned the space a bit better, it would have been much easier.
Well, it didn't seem to hamper you too much, all things considered. I know being constrained like that is a little wacky. Tell us a little bit about what your overall tactic was.
Yeah, so I went like when I'd remembered at the end, and I knew just before starting, and I knew it was a small table, I was sort of saying to myself, don't do the edge first because it's going to take up too much space. But then when I saw the image, it just seemed obvious that like the edge was the right place to start. So I did end up doing the edge. Then I worked the like bowls mainly by color. So I picked out like the big yellow and green at the bottom, the yellow on the right, the left-hand bowls, and then sort of worked through colors on those bowls, finish it up with all these sort of orange bowls that are the same color. And then it was the mosaic. So I think probably like most people, the archway, the blue vertical lines. And then there was a little distinction on like the outer parts of the mosaic. You could kind of pick those pieces out. And then the inside of the archway, that was the sort of hard bit at the end.
Yeah, there's so much duplication of the pattern inside of that that's just really mind-boggling at a certain point.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you like either train yourself or figure out a way to see the distinction at that stage of things? Like how do you approach something like that?
I think it's just finding like what's the one next thing that you can pull out that you can see that's different. So obviously you start with the archway, then you think, oh, now I can see the vertical lines. Then I can see the bits on the outside where it's a bit smaller print. Then I can see, I think the exact same as Inga said, like there's some pieces with like blue and brown glare on them. Then the like wheel in the middle and the green around that. So like, I think it's just finding that one slight differential every time that you can just, even if it only pulls you out 3 or 4 pieces, but it just gives you something to go off of, other than just having to just shape sort and just do it that way.
Just try to use any sort of teeny tiny clue before resorting to brute force.
Basically, yeah.
That makes sense. Well, the theme of today is how would you, or what sort of like lead kind of thing would you want to see or set up or anything like that? What are your thoughts on that?
I wasn't quite sure of how it could actually work in practice, but I guess my rough idea was something to do with like each quarter of the EJJ. I know Michelle puts up like a thing of how people did, but maybe base it on like your time compared to like the average time on each puzzle. So are you better than average or slower than the average? And maybe then filter it into leagues by speed. And then maybe then you're competing against those people for the next quarter. And then at the end of the quarter, you move up or down. But I do like the idea, I think you were talking about like at Worlds, you maybe only get tested on the final puzzle and that's what determines your overall rankings. I do like the idea more of having a range of puzzles, which then over a period of time determines your rankings depending on how you do. But then I don't know how you'd account for new people who are just starting, and I don't know how you'd account for some people doing all the competitions and some not doing all of them. So I don't really know how it could work in practice, but I do like the idea of it.
Yeah, one of the tricky things with doing any sort of mathematical analysis is how do you get sufficient amount of data in order to make sure that it's good, right? Like,
Yeah.
I know in chess and video games, a lot of other sports, you have to have somewhere between 8 and 15 runs of a thing before your number starts counting towards rankings. And I it can take a while to rank up 8 to 15 worth of competitions in the puzzle world right now.
Yeah, for sure.
So that would be kind of fun. I like the quarterly idea. Maybe a spin on that would be to do the quarterly, and instead of doing it based on the average, but based on like which 25% grouping you're within inside of that. That might be that would be interesting. Because then you get a percentage based thing and you can compare it a little bit towards the time, but you're probably going to be within that same crew on that level. That would be interesting. That would be fun to play with. Yeah. I wonder if
like a smaller group of close competitors that you're like competing with more regularly. I think because that's how you will improve, I think, is by like being against people who are very similarly matched to you.
Yeah. I know the US speedpuzzling.com online competitions, they use a belt system, and they do it based on the percentage of your ranking. But once you reach that rank, you can never drop back down. So there's a little bit of a grade inflation that happens over time.
Yeah.
Which the upside is you hit it and then you don't have to worry about like losing it. Like you've achieved the thing, which is great, and you are that good. You have those times. But the thing that's then difficult is where does the spacing start lining up once more people keep moving up the ranks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was seeing a note. What do you think about ranking outside of, or maybe not even ranking, but like grouping outside of just pure speed? Do you have any ideas of what we might be able to do for that?
I like the idea of like sizes of puzzle more than like grouping just by like type of image. Like you say, I think part of the fun is not knowing what image you're going to get before the competition. But maybe, yeah, like 500 or 1,000, or even like you could do like smaller puzzles, like 100 or 200 ones. I think it's quite different. There's different skills for all three.
Yeah, hundreds are more sprints and thousands are more marathons, right? Like that would be interesting. Do you like doing solo thousands?
I've barely done any. I've done maybe 2 or 3.
Really?
Yeah.
Any particular reason why, or?
I think it's just part of it is finding the time where I know like I've got that chunk of time where I'm uninterrupted, whereas it's easy to fit like a 40-minute 500 piece into like an evening, but not necessarily an hour and a half, 2 hours to do 1,000 piece. And partly just I find it so overwhelming, the amount of pieces on the table and trying to work my way through them. Like Inga was saying earlier about the pairs being 500 and then 1,000 in the solo, and I feel like that really like messed with me. Like I just could not find my way through that 1,000 piece puzzle. Hmm.
Yeah, I guess that is a pretty hefty jump if you haven't done a lot of thousands.
Mm.
I think a lot of folks assume that like the all of the top puzzlers are doing giant piece sizes all the time, or bouncing around like that. And then it's surprising for some folks to hear that you're not doing a gazillion piece size. Oh, sorry, Michelle. What's
I have to interrupt. Maria TB, who was puzzling from the airport, finished. Yes, completely wedged in. I mean, look at that. It's the perfect space. So Maria TB will have to review airport tables for their puzzling suitability, but she did it. Go, don't miss your flight. And Amelia has started. So go, Amelia, beat the timer. You've got 31 minutes. Go, go, go.
I think part of my thing as well with 1,000-piece puzzles is that, like, because I'm doing 500s for speed, I quite like keeping thousands as just something to do where I'm not doing it for speed. I can just sit back and enjoy the puzzling again.
I think that's really important too. And in a lot of competitions, there can be this emphasis on people that are in the like top 5, top 10 kind of a thing. But there's a lot of other people that are like there to do their best, and there should be some fun ways to reward that somehow, which is really cool. I saw the Australian Nationals recently had an award for best dressed, I think, or something along those lines. And I know, Michelle, in several of your competitions, you've done like best mascots, those kinds of things. And that's fun to play around with, I guess. Yeah. What sort of what Rachel? What would be the most outlandish puzzle award you would want to see at a competition?
Oh my goodness. Let me think. I cannot think of anything. What about you, Jim? What would you have?
I think best puzzle pun would be interesting, but that's also very language
That's
dependent.
very
Right?
biased towards you, right?
You asked what my personal favorite would be, and I think that would be fun. I think that would be the one that I would have a shot at.
We have always said there should be a prize for like team names or like team shirts and things. I
Yeah.
really like that as an idea.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Mm.
Yeah,
I think it would be fun. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I keep seeing this name on Instagram, which I really like. It's the team's called Ravenous Burgers. And their logo is like a burger eating puzzle pieces or something. So instead of Ravensburger, it's Ravenous Burgers. So yeah, go ahead, Jim.
I think it would be fun if people put their goal times up somewhere, or like what their goals would be, and then if there was a award based on hitting your goal for time wise, that would be fun.
Well, in the UK, like online competitions, the Puzzle Guzzle, there is an award sort of similar to that every time. So it's called Madeley's Maestro Award because Aaron Madeley is the sort of statistician from the Puzzle Guzzle. So he basically, based on sort of the times that they all took to complete the puzzle in practice, they sort of extrapolate that out to everyone based on their sort of past performance. So they give you, like, at the start of the competition, a predictive time of what they think you should do for this puzzle. And the person who beats their predicted time by the most wins like a prize every time.
Thank you for explaining that, because that is not explained, Gaza. You do not explain that in your posts. I thought Madeley's Maestro was that Aaron chose randomly someone who had improved considerably, that they had noticed, or maybe this person came 30th and then now they came up to 24th or something, and next time they came to 17th. Like, I thought that's how it was. So, but that it's like that, but just a lot more math behind it.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, that's good to know.
But then the Puzzle Guzzle also has a couple of other prizes. So I'll pick like a random reply to the question of the day to win a prize. And there's also a golden ticket hidden in one of the puzzles each time. So that's just like a fun prize for someone to win.
Oh, well, that's like Willy Wonka.
Exactly like that, yeah.
I've got 2 guzzles downstairs. Maybe I'll win a golden
Who
ticket.
knows? Maybe you've got a golden ticket.
That'd be really cool. Well, Rachel, do you have any advice for the puzzlers that are like going here as we cross the hour and 33-minute line? How do you stay focused, keep trying to truck through whenever that slog is hitting in?
Just, I guess, focus on one thing at a time. Like, what's the next one thing that you can find to do? It can be a bit overwhelming looking at all the pieces, but like, is there just one thing that you can pick out that you can work out what it is? Even if it's just a few pieces, just taking it even 1 or 2 pieces at a time.
Anything to start thinning the herd a little bit?
Exactly.
Just melting it down. Do you ever like take a stretch during a long puzzle and like shake everything out? Anything like that?
No, I probably should, but I don't.
What do you we saw, I think it was Johanna earlier. I don't know if most people don't have the commentary on while they're puzzling.
Oh,
But,
I always have the commentary on.
okay. All right. I'm terribly sorry for the droning then. But Johanna was puzzling on her knees, like on the floor. Have you ever done that before?
No, I've got terrible knees. I would never be able to do that, and that's why I never puzzle standing up either. I know there's a girl called Hev in the UK. She always puzzles like just sitting on the floor, like cross-legged, and I just cannot imagine it.
I think she's someone who must do yoga.
Yeah, she does climbing and things like that, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Just a lot more hip and joint flexibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, well, I know you've still got to eat, and there's a
It's
puzzle.
okay, I managed to quickly eat my dinner, but
Yeah.
yes, I should go.
But yes, we better let you go. But thank you so much for joining us, Rachel, second place. And yeah, great that you did so well on the puzzle tonight.
Okay, thank you. I really enjoyed it. Nice to see you.
Congrats, Rachel.
Bye.
Bye. All right, we are at 1 hour and 35 minutes. On screen right now, we have Lydia, Orla, Heike, Daniel, Wendy, and Katie. Looking really good there. Yeah, Amelia is on her way. Got the yellow part done really quickly. We'll see more of her. I'm sure she'll get plenty of screen time towards the end. Yeah, but for now, let's have a chat with Maggie. First time on the podium. Magdalene.
Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out my camera once again. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Perfect.
So tell us about the puzzle tonight. How was it for you?
Sorry about my camera angle. I didn't have time to test it.
We were a bit like this, watching you.
Yeah.
It all worked out, but you did a fantastic job. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, as you can probably see by my heatless curls thing, I did not expect to be interviewed and be on the podium.
Well,
to be shown on camera, really.
You look absolutely fantastic, and we're just thrilled for you because that was some really, really cool puzzling you were doing. What were your thoughts whenever you saw this come out of the bag?
I actually really like the image because I like bright colors. And to be honest, I just sort of ignored the mosaic to start with. I just didn't look at it.
You just out of sight, out of mind. Just
yeah, basically.
It.
And so I just started on the bright colors and worked from there.
That's really, really cool. Was it difficult puzzling sideways the entire time?
Well, I sort of my parents messaged and said they were expecting the pieces to fall off the table, so.
That's so cool that your parents were watching too. That's fun.
Yeah, I always manage to give them like a couple minutes notice because I keep forgetting to tell them more in advance, but they do watch.
Well, hi, Magdalene's parents. We adore you. Thanks for letting us borrow her for a little bit. Well, tell. So you started on the bright colors. What was going through your mind once you got out of the like really distinct colors and more into sort of those ambiguous oranges?
bit by bit, really. As Rachel said, you just have to go piece by piece. And whenever I scan the pieces, I just grab into my hand things that I think, yeah, I know where that goes. It's not maybe all in the same area in the puzzle, but I know where that area is, and then I just sort of work from there.
You had a really, really fast close, like the last like 15 pieces or so just like flew. And there was this really cool moment where you loaded up one hand with a bunch of pieces, and then you kept reaching and dropping in with the other, like one piece at a time, really, really rapidly, and then you just fed them out of your hand. Were you really thinking about the pieces at that point, or were you just like in pure flow state, get things in?
I think I was probably just in the flow, not really thinking too much about it, just thinking pieces go in.
I'm always curious if there's like internal monologue that puzzlers have sometimes while they're working on things. Were you feeling like adrenalized at that point?
Very much so, because as I've never finished so far forward in an EJJ before, and I always have the commentary on as well, so I was listening to you guys.
I'm sorry you had to listen to us.
That's all right. I usually have the commentary on and music at the same time, but because I was so stressed for time today, I didn't manage to turn the music on, so it was just you. But that was fine.
Well, it clearly seemed to work out for you. Maybe puzzling without the music might be worth a shot on the next one.
Yeah, definitely.
How did the piece size come into play on this? Were you concerned with like space issues? Do you do a lot of bigger size piece cuts?
I don't typically do a lot of bigger size. I don't avoid them, but I just haven't had the opportunity to do that many of them. However, one of the Ravensburger big piece size is actually one of my fastest first try solves. So I don't think they're too hard, maybe. It depends. Well, they are different, but I don't shy away from them. Let's just say that.
That's really interesting. It might be the case that because you don't shy away from them, maybe you're just more comfortable with it as a default.
And I've got a big table, which helps.
Ah, okay. That always goes a long way right there.
Yeah.
Do you tend to you don't shy away from those big piece sizes, but like in your puzzling diet, do they make up like a decent percentage of the puzzles you do, or are they just kind of like there every so often?
Just every so often, really not that much, because just for relaxing puzzling, I usually do 1,000s, and I don't know if there are 1,000s with bigger pieces, because that would be really big. But yeah, just every now and then.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Well, once you were sort of shifting gears from from the like the distinct bowls and bags and all that stuff, I know you wanted to like not think about the mosaic. What was the first thought once you started getting into
This all looks the same.
it?
But other than that, I could hear you talking about these lines, and people have already finished like that circle, and I was just thinking, I can't see it. But yeah, I just picked out what I could see and tried to put in that, and just moved from section to section as I saw them.
It's always interesting because there's some puzzlers that see very, very distinct things really easily, and for other puzzlers it just melts away. Like I have no sense of gradient whenever I try to look at puzzle pieces. Like on the image I'm like, oh yeah, that's a nice gradient, but like on the pieces themselves it just evaporates into my eye for some reason. What sort of things stand out to you whenever you're puzzling? Not necessarily this puzzle, but like in general.
Bright colors, small details as well. My fastest first try is the cute kawaii chaos from Worlds. So
Congrats.
thanks. So yeah, those sorts of bright colors, small details can work well for me.
Okay. That's really cool. Well, the theme for today is about puzzle leagues or what you might want to see from that. So what are your thoughts?
I do have to say I didn't put any thought into this question before entering this meeting, and so I've just been listening to what other people have said. And I really would agree with what Rachel said, that it would be cool to have to, I don't know, have a ranked or point-based system throughout multiple puzzles, and not just the final one being the actual one that defines where you are. Once again, difficult with how do you define maybe the points, and with people not taking part in all of the competitions, it makes it a bit difficult. But it's an interesting idea, and I haven't put much thought to it, to be honest.
Perfectly fair. Like it's a big world, and there's all sorts of moving pieces, and like the speed puzzling community just keeps growing and changing over the time. Like when did you start puzzling?
Start puzzling in general, or start speed puzzling?
Give me both.
Well, I can't remember when I didn't puzzle. So as a kid, I just puzzled the whole time as well. Just the whole same 6 puzzles I owned, just over and over again. But speed puzzling, I think, would be, was it 2 years ago? 3 years, 2 years, something like that. I remember it being over the Christmas period that I started.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's always funny whenever it's like, is it 2 years or a year and a half, or those fractions of years we start losing track of as we get older.
Mm.
It's
I think
not
it's
like
2 years now, yes. Because the
okay.
first Worlds I didn't go to, and the second Worlds I then did go to, which was this year.
Well, the second thing to go is my memory, so I trust you. Oh, it's so cool. And how is I mean, clearly you've been doing an excellent job considering how you've been finishing. But like, how has it felt being in the like speed puzzling world for the couple of years now?
It's such a lovely community. Everyone's just so lovely. Especially like at Worlds, I was there, well, with a lot of the other Austrians as well, but I was staying in my own apartment alone, and I didn't have to like agree a time with anyone to meet up. I could just go to the dome, and I would find someone to talk to. That was fine. Everyone was just so lovely.
That's so fantastic. And are there a lot of puzzlers like in your area?
We do have a puzzle swap group in the city that I live. Not many speed puzzlers, to be honest. So there are more speed puzzlers up in Vienna, which is about 2 hours away from where I live. So yeah, I don't get to meet up with speed puzzlers that often, but when we do, it's fun.
That's really great. I know there's a group of people at our library that mostly do puzzle swaps. They don't really do for speed because it stresses them out. Very very understandable. Every different paces for different people. But we've done some like online puzzling with folks. I don't know if you've ever done that with people.
Only the EJJs, really.
Gotcha. Well, do you have like an Instagram or social media, anything like that people might like follow you on or hit you up?
Yeah, I'm at Little Puzzling Magpie, and also one of the founding members of the Austrian Jigsaw Puzzle Association. So also feel free to follow Puzzleverein Österreich if you want to.
I really think people should like hit you up and hang out because you're a fantastic human being and clearly a wonderful puzzler.
Thank you.
Do you get a lot of people asking about do you get a lot of questions from people asking about the like Australian group or the Austrian
The
group? Sorry.
Austrian, yes.
Yeah. I said my mouth was moving faster than my brain. I knew what I meant. Sorry.
That's all right. Well, we had our first national competition last year, which went really well. And so this year we're amping up our game and having a multi-day competition, which we're still currently organizing, which, yeah, we're looking forward to, sponsored by Ravensburger. So, yeah.
Well, that's really exciting. Well, congrats on setting that up. That's got to be a huge undertaking to have a multi-day thing, and juggling sponsors. How does it feel to be doing all of that and helping like grow the community at a pretty big level?
It's it is always a lot of work. We have the Vienna Jigsaw Puzzle Club has more experience when it comes to organizing events and also on the marketing side of things and with sponsors. And so they have been, I mean, they're also part of the Puzzle Client Österreich, but their own separate thing as well. And so they have been great in all of their help and experience, especially for the first competition we did last year. So yeah, it's a bit daunting when we started it first, because we were like, yeah, we want to do this, but we don't really know anything about it, but we'll just give it a go. So yeah, we're still learning, we're still growing, yeah.
That's awesome. Maggie, I just want to mention, is it correct that you won or one of the top people in this Peace, Relax, Speed, Run, Lollipop,
Yes.
Chuppa Chup thing?
Yes, I did actually win that one, yeah.
Yes, all right.
Congrats.
So
Yeah.
well, it was like, I think I did it as well. So it wasn't a huge puzzle, was it? It was like
It
maybe
was like 54 pieces or something.
yeah, it was about this big. It was
plastic
plastic
pieces, Chuppa Chups.
pieces, yeah, about Chuppa Chups with like the logos on there. But I heard that you could go back a second time and do it again. Did you do it more than once to get your time down?
Yes, I did it a total of 2 times. So after the second time, I thought, yeah, that's a solid time. I think I'll leave that, because I was on there on the very first day they opened, so I thought I'll see what the week brings. And yeah, my time just sort of stood throughout the week, which was amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Great. Well, we'll let you probably get back to your curls and your dinner. And yes,
thank you.
there's a puzzle sale coming up. But yeah, fantastic. It's great that you get the podium. Yeah, nice that we have a different group of puzzles tonight, a different type of puzzle. And yeah, that you didn't shy away. I like how you say you don't shy away from large puzzles.
Oh, thank you so much. And yeah, have a great evening.
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Bye.
Okay,
Sure to
we
go
have
find her on the Instagrams.
yeah, we have got 10 minutes left, 1 hour and 50 minutes. Oh, Lynn, you are so close. Come on.
Keep pushing.
And oh, Orla as well. Orla's only got like maybe 20 pieces to go. So looking really good there. Yasmin is well into the mosaics. Julie are working. Yeah, so Julie actually did the mosaics up front. So she's got that top half done. And now she's working on those colourful baskets. And we can see that Hybor has done a really great... Oh, Lynn, are you taking a break? Oh.
Yeah, I'm actually not able to finish. I was hoping to get it done in time, but actually it's not happening.
Okay, so you're just volunteering to chat instead.
I'm always really close to the timeline, so I thought maybe I get lucky, but now I got like 20 pieces maybe, so that's fine.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think you.
I can say I would have finished if I so.
Yeah, well, nice to see you. I've mentioned you several times on the live stream, but now we get to talk with you face to face. Yeah, so tell us again about your event that you're organizing.
Okay, that's a broad question, or like task really. I should say it's like a whole weekend, so it's 2 days. One is like workshops, and the next one is competitions. And I really wanted to do the workshop side with now we have like Kati Reiner doing a puzzle workshop for the first time. And I'm really happy that she's doing that. Just, yeah, sharing a little bit of tricks and help how to increase speed. And I don't really know what exactly she's going to teach us, but let's see. So, and yeah, the workshop is a bit of a thing I wanted to do, but couldn't find like offline, like real life workshops for speed puzzling. So I kind of just said I will organize it. So now we have like this workshop day, and we still got like 30 places left if anyone is interested. Yes, so that's the thing. And
I've just added the link into the chat. It's the 24th and 25th of January in Dortmund. The link goes to the German Puzzle Association. But actually, you can change it to English. Oh, I just realized that. I hadn't looked at that before. Okay, I'll drop the English link now in there. So if anybody is somewhere around there or wants to travel and do a puzzling weekend, you can check that out. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yes, you also had this idea of a puzzle league. So yeah, let's talk a bit more about that. Just share your thoughts. What brought you to that?
Actually, it started like this year. I was thinking about this National League, like because there were not so many like offline events happening. That has changed really. Like this spring, it's like I don't know. I didn't know about like all of them, but I was like surprised when it turned out that we are doing like I think 4 competitions within 2 months in Germany. So in Hamburg, in Dortmund, in Siegen, and then the big one.
The Nationals.
The Nationals, yeah, exactly. So I was thinking probably the other ones were also thinking like best put it before the Nationals so everybody can practice, which is really nice. But now I'm like a little bit afraid that we won't have any competitions in the second part of the year because everybody has done a lot of organizing already. So I hope we still have some things going on.
So was your thoughts for a puzzle league more related to offline competitions?
It was more related to offline competitions at first, really, because I was thinking we should have like maybe we could do like 4 events to like on 4 different places in Germany, like west, east, north, south. Now we already got like I think only the east is missing really, which is well, you could say like this puzzling weekend, which the puzzle club, German puzzle club, is doing for their members only. That's in the east. So we got this covered really. So I guess that's fine. And now I've kind of bit changed my mind about it because it's also the question like, what do people want to do? Do they just want to do speed puzzling or do they want to discover new things? And I think recently people are really excited to get like new formats of competitions. So now I'm really unsure and I don't think I'm going to organize anything soon or start organizing it, but it's really interesting to listen to all the other people and hear what they think about some kind of leagues and some kind of way to organize it. I think in a way we already have like this like online league, which is actually AJJ, because you do count like how many, like how good you've been, and then people get like first place or second place. So that's already happening, I think.
I'll just read out a couple.
It would also be interesting to do.
Oh, sorry. We just got 4 minutes or 3.5 minutes left. We didn't get that many answers to the question, but I'll just read out a few of them just so that we cover a bit more. Yeva said, I believe everybody should compete together. If technically not possible, more competitions give more opportunities. But if you separate slower or other players, there is less motivation to grow and become faster. So that's like a downside. If you make too many leagues or like separate people by speed, then you're only competing against the same people and having less motivation to like get into the next one, perhaps. Alexandra said it should be divided by age. So it could have leagues depending on your age. Justina says maybe based on some sort of preliminary round or categories like puzzles without a picture, a detailed puzzle, or gradients. So kind of like depending on like what type of image you are puzzling. And then the longest answer is from Aaron. So I'd like to see an event or series where the top 60 puzzlers qualification is based on results from only live controlled environments. So I think he's referring to offline. So qualification in the absence of a global ranking system could be something like the national champion of each country that has an association. So we're up to about 43 associations now. So the champion of each country, plus anyone who has made the top 5 at any of the last 3 worlds, plus the next 10 best ranked individuals from the last world's final, and a couple of wildcard slots chosen by the organizer. It may be better to insist on someone from the country making the finals at Worlds for that nation to secure its spot to have a leaner field size. So this is one of the reasons why I don't even want to get into this. It's like so complicated. Yes. I think online events aren't worth factoring in, as there's too much inequality in lighting and table conditions. The potential to cheat or is harder to prevent and would inadvertently be encouraged. So he's saying if you do something, it has to be controlled and needs to be, basically taking the best of the best from each of the countries, plus those in the worlds and the finals. So very interesting. Maybe we'll chat to Aaron about that at another time. We've got 1 minute left. So go Heike, Julie, Emilia, Yasmin, and Zana.
Keep pushing. I know there's not a lot of time, but you can get just even a handful more pieces in is more than what you had, and that counts towards your point. So keep on trucking.
Yeah. Well, actually, at this stage, Amelia has only been puzzling for 31 minutes. So
to see the progress that she has at this point is absolutely amazing right now. She's doing a fantastic job, and this isn't an easy puzzle by any stretch of the imagination.
No, she's doing really well. So coming up to 20 seconds left. I can see my husband already hovering in the background because he's got a sale to put on soon. So 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, stop. Well done, everybody. That was 2 hours or less for Emilia.
Congratulations.
Well, Emilia never logged in, so she's not counted in this one, but I'm glad she joined us. A bit annoying to have a business meeting at this time, but I'm glad she came to do her best anyway. So for those who have leftover pieces, please count those up and then put them into the timer website as well. There you can add your leftover pieces. Yeah, so Lynn, I think it's an interesting subject, and I think as the sport develops, it is something that we need to consider. I mean, if we look at where it's most advanced in America, they have state championships. They have like a ranking system, like this belt system for the online competitions. So and especially, I mean, how many speed puzzles are there in America, Jim?
Oh, well over 2,000.
2,000. Okay, yeah. So
well over that, I would imagine. So
yeah, and I don't understand the system of this USJPA point system, how they work that out, these averages, and so I personally don't even want to get into that. I mean, for me, we made 50 plus and 50 because for me, I want people to know where they are. I want people to decide for themselves. I don't want to have a list of 2,000 people and then have to go through and check their myspeedpuzzling.com and how did they go at this event at Worlds and how did they go in this nationals, and then to them physically put them into a category. I want people to look at a category and say, yep, I qualify or I don't. So, and that's as much as I can manage. But if somebody else there wants to get into all the maths and the stats and come up with some ranking or some more stats, then go ahead. Maybe that's a job for Aaron.
I think I'm also going to wait for someone else to do it.
I think the self-selection is a pretty nice component for things. And I mean, you've definitely pulled a couple people aside that like are probably in a lower bracket than they should be, and are like, hey, you should bump up at this point. And I think it's more encouraging to bump people up a thing than to tell people you belong in a lower bracket. So I think the self-selection is pretty interesting.
Also, like for my competition now I was telling like people, if you for the beginner hard competition if you've been like this fast within the last 3 years. So because if something happens, people, I don't know, people have some kind of accident, sickness, and they just get slow, and then it's really not nice if they have to compete in like the faster class all the time because they were good ones. I think that's also not very motivating. So I think it's good if there's a bit of a time component with it, or they can just decide every time themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, there's somebody in the comments was saying, I also vote for dividing by age so I don't have to compete against Connor. I think dividing by age isn't as useful as having a separate age category for awards, right? Like I know some events they have like an open division where anybody can compete in that thing. And I think that would be really cool rather than just having a default like cutoff. Although there are plenty of reasons for age restrictions just on a like, human level, not necessarily a puzzle skill level. But I think it would be more interesting to have like a special category award for that rather than us mere mortals being nervous about when Connor comes around, or some of the other speedy youngsters that are coming through the pipeline right now.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the suggestion. It made for an interesting discussion. And yeah, now you can go back to your puzzle, pop in those 20 pieces. And yeah, you need to click on your timer website because you're the last person. Just
sorry.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Zanna. Yeah, so Zanna's still counting, but I think yeah, so Zanna and Lynn, you can still go ahead and put in your timer. But I will close the live stream so my husband can take over. See you for those who are wanting to purchase in roughly 25 minutes, and try not to break the internet.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks everyone
Bye, everybody.
for being here. See you later.